Hi all. In our last lecture, we created the data model in Semarchy. Now, we'll configure the screens that will be used by data stewards or business users to create and manage reference data. So if we go to entities and right click our first entity, we'll just click on a create application components. We'll go with default. We'll click next and then finish. And we'll do the same for remaining entities as well. Now this is basically creating the web screens for all these entities. Now this is very specific to Semarchy and every other tool will have their own way, but this is just to tell you that we have to configure screens as well for managing reference data. And this is our last entity and we'll click finish. Now we have to save this first. And once it is saved, what we'll do is we'll validate the data model. We'll go to RDM and we'll right click and click on validate. Now if we take this up, we can see there's only one warning in this validation report, and it's a warning. It's not an error which will stop us from deploying this data model. So we'll just ignore this. We'll go to management and let's deploy this data model. So we'll click on data location, new data location, give it RDM, give it customer dlog1 and RDM. Now we'll click finish. Now what this will be doing is it will deploy the data model to the Oracle database. It will create all the metadata tables and references, etc. So now our data model has been deployed. So what we'll do is we'll quickly go and see how the web screens out of the box are looking like. So we'll go to welcome page. And now we have got our default application of RDM. So we'll click this. We don't want to set up profile first. If you can see, we have got all our all our entities business views here. So if we click on categories first, let's see what it shows. So it shows category, category ID, category name, and effective dates. And I guess similar would be the case with other entities. Now we'll have to tweak it based on how easy we want to make it for business users or data stewards to fill in the reference data. So let's do one thing. Let's click on categories first and then try to create a category to see how easy it is for an end user. So we'll click on these three dots and click on create. So now if you can see, it's asking me for the category itself, which we can call gender for the time being. Now if I click on finish, before that, if you can see, I cannot fill in effective dates. It's just because it's not configured properly in this form itself. So if I click finish, I'll just be able to see category ID and the category name. It just takes a few seconds to refresh. We'll see at the bottom left when the data is ready to be viewed. So now if I click refresh, I'll be able to see gender without effective dates because it's not properly configured. Now, if we go to systems and try to create a system, we'll again have the same problem. So let's say we'll click CRM. We can't fill in effective dates. We'll click finish. We are actually doing this exercise to see how the end user will be seeing this so that we can actually evolve these screens with right attributes to support the end users. So now we have got category and system. Now if we go to cat sysrel, which is an intersection table, and I try to create a record here. Now if you can see in category, I can only see one. So let's say if you have got 10 reference data categories in the category table, you'll be only able to see 1 to 10, which doesn't make sense to the end user. So I can select from this drop down, but it doesn't let me know that which category I'm referring to for this intersection record. And again, same would be valid for systems. We only have one record here, so right now it is quite easy, but it doesn't make sense for end users to see this because they won't be able to map anything. Um, we can't see end dates here for some reason, so we'll have to fix that as well. So we'll click finish, and effective dates are here, but why we were not able to see it? Or did I miss it? If I click on this and click edit, I just want to see whether effective dates was present there, and I was not able to see. Oh yeah, effective dates are here, but again, I can't fill anything in, so that's why. So we'll click finish because I don't have to make any changes. But you can see now the screen has to be configured properly for the end users to make sense out of how they can actually create, update, or delete reference data from these screens. So same would be valid for cat sysrel values where your data mapping would be stored and your reference masters as well. So what we'll do is in our next lecture, we'll try to add the right attributes or make these screens more sensible from an end user's perspective. See you in next lecture. Thank you.